welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today we're going to be making pho. Pho is a Vietnamese dish, a noodle dish that is super delicious. It's like so good, and I've actually never gone out to have it, so I just was watching traveling shows and a few years ago, and it's the my son calls him the food guy, but it's best ever food review show. Anyways, he travels and he was eating pho all the time, and I was like, I'm gonna make that. So I looked it up, and I have my version of it, even though I've never tasted it in real life. My kids say it tastes like it, so this is how you make pho. We're going to start off with some bones. Okay, so you're going to need beef bones. And so I have some short ribs here. And we have some just neck bones. And it's basically beef bone broth. Okay, so you're going to start off making a beef bone broth. And then you're going to add all the good flavors and seasonings to it. But you're going to need neck bones and leg bones and just any kind of beef bones you can get your hands on. I got a lot of them. And then oxtail is good. It just gives a really great flavor. So we got oxtail, and I got we've got some beef bone-in shank right here, just for some good flavoring, and the meat, we'll eat. And then I just got a London broil we're going to pop in there too later. I got a lot of just whatever bones you can find, whatever beef you can find in your store, more oxtail. And we're going to start preparing all that and get it in. I have a big giant 22-quart roaster that I will be cooking it in. This is what I cook all my bone broths in, like my chicken and turkey and beef. I cook it in my 22-quart roaster here in about 200 or 180, between 180 and 200 degrees, and I will slow cook it for almost 3 days until I get all the goodness from those bones out. So that's what we're gonna do. But first, we need to clean our meat. So I try to keep it as authentic as I can, and I followed, a couple recipes I found online, and then through, the food review show that I was watching, how they made it on the street in Vietnam, and just put it together, and then I'm pretty sure I'm spot on. I followed all the recipes of, it's basically what they do on the computer. So I've been doing this, making pho broth, for 2 years now. And I like to do it and can it up so that way it's ready to go whenever I want to eat it. And it gets just better after you can it. The flavors just meld together, and it's actually a lot more tastier after the canning process when it's been on your shelf for a few months. So, but I'm running out. I only have 2 quarts of pho left in my cabinets, and so we're going to make more. We're doing the broth, and then you eat it with rice noodle. This is a good rice noodle. And so you put rice noodle and cilantro, bean sprouts, lime, and green onions in a bowl with your broth, and I'll slice up meat in round eye, and you put it in there, and it's very delicious. It's very healthy too. It's super medicinal as well. That's why I like to have it for the winter. So we're gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna bring you in. And what we do with the bones is you have to wash them and then boil it a little bit just to clean. You want a clean broth. So we're gonna wash these, put it in a pot to boil it off a bit to get the bad parts out. So I'll bring you in, we'll do that. Alrighty, so we're gonna wash all of our meat first. in the sink and put it aside in this bowl, in a bowl here. So let's get all these rinsed off, because when the butcher cuts the meat, what happens is there's bone fragments on it. So we want to wash that real good and get that bone fragments off. Get anything you don't know what that touched, you know. Let's do. So we got some, this is oxtail. Has really good flavor. Rinse all those pieces, and then we have some beef, like bones, just neck bones, some leg bones, so we'll got that. Just rinse it really, really good. I have my pot on the stove right now, boiling, and we're going to like kind of just boil this briefly to get all the contaminants out, all the bad stuff. That way we have a nice clean broth. And you want to do this even if you're just making regular bone broth. I just do that. And so we got some bone-in beef shank. This is good meat here. Alright, and these are the short ribs here. These are the, yeah, these are short ribs. We're gonna get these boiled up and cooked here. Alright, so our water is boiling now, and we're gonna add our meat in here and bring it back up to a boil. And boil it for about 20 minutes and then drain it. So we're going to boil all this off for 20 minutes. Clean those bones up here. Grossness. Yeah, we want to wash our product real good. There we go. Bring that back to a boil and boil it off for a good 20 minutes. Get all the impurities out. Get all those impurities out. Okay. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes and we're going to take these out, rinse it, and I want to do it one more time just because this meat seems a little bit dirty to me. So, I'll just take this out so it's easier. I don't want to accidentally get it poured off in my sink. We're going to go rinse this. I'll do it one more time for 10 minutes. And then we'll be good to go. So we're going to take this meat out and then go rinse it off in the sink. And do it one more time. Alright, so I'm going to go dump this. I'm going to dump this meat in the sink. And then redo it. Let's go dump this meat in the sink. Alright, so I got all the meat dumped and rinsed again, and we're boiling again, and you could still see the water is like, it's dirty water. So you want to do it twice. I did the first one for 10 minutes, second one for 10 minutes. This, that way I get it all nice and clean. Got some clean bones. Sometimes I'll do one for, like, just do it for 20 minutes and call it good, but these ones looked pretty, the water just looked pretty bad, so I'm going to do it again. Make our broth nice and clean, get all that blood out. Okay. I still got pieces floating everywhere. It's amazing how dirty cow bones are. Cow meat, when it's the bones like this, it's really dirty. I'll clean it good. Get a nice clear broth going. So when that's done, we'll add them to our pot. Alrighty, so we're all done boiling our bones to clean them, and we rinsed them and washed them. They're nice and clean. They smell good, like meat. So we're gonna put them in the pot in my roaster here, and hopefully get some nice clean broth here. So we're just going to slow cook these for about 3 days and release all the goodness out of it. Put this in here. We're going to first start it off at we're going to raise it to 350 to get it going. And then once it gets going, then we're going to turn it down to 180 to 200 for the remainder of the time. You can do it on the pot, you know, I mean in a pot on the stove, but it just, you have to watch it. That's why I like the roaster. Or you can do it in a crock pot and do it in smaller batches. But I like the roaster because I don't have to really watch it and nothing burns. Should have some nice flavorful broth in here. There we go. There we go. Got it in there. And so once it gets to 350, we're going to turn it down between 180 and 200. Okay? And so while this is getting going, we're going to get our spices cooking here. We have to get our Asian spices going to make the flavor. So I'll bring you over to the stove and show you how we do that. Alright, so we're going to toast our spices first. We're going to get our my cast iron skillet nice and hot. Just on a low. And then we're going to put about a cup of coriander, okay? Coriander is a really good flavor. It's actually, it is seeds of your cilantro. So coriander is actually cilantro seeds. And let's just pour about a cup in here, and we're going to toast these. About a cup, because I have a lot of broth, so a little bit more. Okay, we're going to do about a cup of coriander for all that broth I have. And then we're gonna do fennel. We got some fennel here, and we're gonna do a half a cup of fennel. Fennel like has a kind of a licorice smell to it. We're gonna do a half a cup of fennel. Put that in there. And then we're gonna toast these separate from our other ones. So let's get these toasted. Alright, so it's toasting it nicely here. And when that's done, we're going to put it in this big bag here. I have a big bag just for this. So you can use, if you don't have one of these, you could use smaller ones, a bunch of smaller ones, or you would probably could use cheesecloth and tie it up. That's a good thing you can use. Alright, so this is starting to smoke, and that's what we want. Smoke these up here. So if you were going to do just like a regular pot, you can half the ingredients. The more the flavors, the merrier, so it doesn't have to be exact. Okay, these are cooking good. They're cooking good. I'm going to turn my heat off so I don't burn them. Just let it finish toasting up. Okay, so now I'm going to put it in my cloth here. Try not to spill it everywhere. Alright, got that going. Let's pick this up and dump the rest. Where's my... there we go. Alright, let's pick this up and dump the rest in the bag here. Alright. Now... we got that, set that aside, because now we're going to toast. We got our coriander. You want black coriander? We're going to put this in the pot. I have about, you can do like, I'm doing 7 small ones, but if they're bigger you can do like maybe 4. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do 12 small ones. 12 small corianders. And then we want some star anise. I have a jar of star anise here. And oh, it smells so good. And we're going to do 8 star anises. About 8 or so, a little handful, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, a small handful, about 10. And then we're going to get our cinnamon sticks. Now I have regular cinnamon and saline cinnamon. So this, I'm going to do 3 of these in here. And then we're going to toast these ones up. Let's turn the heat back on and toast these now. You don't even have to put them in these bags, but if you don't, you just have to strain it. You know, strain it out. You just dump it right in your broth if you wanted to. But I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're gonna take this and real quick like tie a string on it. I can't find my I have thread. Can't find my twine anywhere, so I'm going to use thread. And tie this shut. Or you know what? I think I can tie a knot in this one. I can tie a knot. Tie a little bit of a knot here. I think. Well, I'll just do the thread. Bow, a little bow. And I'll reuse these bags. I'll wash them up and reuse them. Alright, and then we're going to pop this in our broth. So let's turn you over here. Show you the broth. What's going on right here. The broth is looking nice and clear. And then we're going to go ahead and float this in here. Just like so. And close it up, and let's get our other stuff toasted up. So now we're going to have to toast some other things. Alright, so you need a grate or something, because we're going to char ginger and onion. And if you have shallots, you do shallots, but I don't have shallots, so I'm just doing onion. And I don't want it to fall through, so I have this. I got out of my toaster oven, and you just turn your heat on, and we're going to char first our ginger. Okay, you're going to cut your ginger down the middle in half, just split it in half, and we're going to sit here and char them up. We're going to put these on the side so I get them out of my way. I don't know how much ginger I have. I have about a good 6 pieces here, 6 big pieces. If they're really fat, you can cut them 3 times. And so while that's cooking, I'm gonna cut my onions over here on the side. All right, let's flip this over. Get some nice char marks on them. Alright, so if you get them really black, you might want to scrape it. Some people scrape it off. I don't. I like the black chariness on it. So we're gonna, as these cook, we're gonna just pop them right in the broth. They don't need to be bagged. Helps release the juices into the broth, all the aroma and the flavors. Alright, so we're going to put this one in. And that one's good. Let's move these ones in here. Put my onions over to the side. So we got about 3 onions, 3 large onions. Just cut them in half. Turn that over. Okay, that one's done. Alright, so we got our ginger about finished up, and let's go ahead and move our onion over. This will be a little bit faster. Move our onion over here. Alright, this one's done. Move this one over. Alright, so looks like we're about done. Last 2 onions here. And then we will finish up the broth, adding all the other good stuff. Alright, so we got all the hard part done. Now is the easy stuff. We're going to add some bay leaves. So I'm going to put a couple, probably 2 large bay leaves. And if they're not large, do 3. I'll do like 3 little ones. There we go. That one's a really small one. I'll do 4. Alright, so we got my 4 bay leaves actually equal 2 big ones. So, got the bay leaf in there. Now you need a sugar. You want rock sugar. So, let's see. How much rock sugar will I add in here? It's mainly to taste, so let's start off with about a cup. And you can't have pho without rock sugar. It's just... And we got about a cup of rock sugar. Now we're gonna just sprinkle it, and you want to sprinkle it when your broth is nice and hot so it melts. And I'm gonna have to get more. I'm probably gonna add about 2 cups in there, so I'm gonna buy some more and add it tomorrow probably. So put 2 cups of rock sugar in there, and then you're gonna do fish sauce to taste, and I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So I always like to do the fish sauce last. And again, you can boil this for at least 24 hours. Okay, you can. Sometimes I go 3 days to try to leach all the goodness out of the bones. But I tend to I'll end up canning this on the 2nd day. So that means tomorrow I'm going to add the fish sauce, and it'll probably be 2 cups of fish sauce that I add. And you just want to do it to taste. And that's it. Alright, so we have our broth going, and that will be ready in a day or 2, whenever I choose for it to be ready. At least 24 hours, okay guys? And then now I'm going to make a bowl of pho with my canned pho. So I canned this just in April of 21. So that's how fast we go through it. It's really good. I gotta get my bottle opener here. And I canned it with a Tatler lid. That's a good seal. Alright, and we're just gonna go ahead and pour this and heat it up in a pan. And I'm boiling some water right now for the noodles. Okie dokie. So let's prep everything. So we need cilantro for our dish here. So while the noodles are boiling, we're going to cut up some cilantro to add. So you want cilantro. It's really good stuff. The cilantro makes the flavor, so you gotta have cilantro. Some people put mint in. If I had mint, I would put that in. Alright, so I have, real fast before we get back going, I forgot I have to put meatballs. So I buy, this is the meat that I'm going to add in. So I buy meatballs, Asian meatballs, okay, with tendon. So they're fully cooked, and they have beef meatball with beef tendon in it. It's really good. I like to put that in my pho as well. It's interesting, they have different brands every time I go. So just for me and my husband and Shannon, we're going to do about 2 meatballs each. So I'm just heating that quart up for us 3. So, got 2 meatballs each. So we're going to chop those up. Put them in the pot real fast. Alright, so I keep these in the freezer and just take them out as I need them. And heat them up in the broth when I'm ready to eat it. Alright. That put back. Alright, so sometimes I like to put Daikon Radish in. I have a Daikon Radish. I'm not going to chop it up right now, but Daikon Radish is good in it as well. Let's get our bowls ready. So I'm going to divide all this cilantro up. A good handful in each bowl. There's one bowl. Another bowl. And then one more bowl. So one bushel of cilantro does about 3 bowls for me. Okay, because I like that taste. And then we're going to do a green onion. Now, don't forget to save these parts. You can put them in your garden and regrow them. That's what I do. I did that, but then my chickens ate it. They got into it. So see these? I'm going to go plant these. Yeah, but my chicken got in there and ate it. Ugh, I was so irritated. Now I have to redo it. So we're going to cut these green onions up. And then if you have dehydrated chili peppers, you hydrate them in water and chop them up if you want. And put them in there. I like to put sriracha in it. I like the taste of the sriracha. The chili peppers, just the dehydrated one, are just a little too spicy for me. But, alright. So we're going to do a little handful in each bowl. A little handful in each bowl here. Now I got a little left. Got a little left we can put aside. And then I like to get the bowls ready. So normally people put this stuff on top of the noodle. But I just put it in the bowl. So it's all nice and ready. It saves time. I'll just move it to the side. You know, let's move it to the side here. Oops. We'll just move this to the side and put our noodles on the side of it. And we got Thai basil. Thai basil is awesome. I have some in my garden, but it's still young, so I'm going to pick the leaves up and then chop this real good. It has like a licorice smell to it, to me. A black licorice. These are good ones. This nice tender. We'll put that on our, do one in each bowl. All right. That one. We'll do another one for the other bowl. So it's really easy. Once you have your broth done, that's why I like to can it, because all you have to do is just chop your vegetables up and heat the broth up. And you're good to go. It's nice and healthy. Nice and healthy for you. Okay, there's that. So we got that ready. And we have bean sprouts we're gonna add to it once. I'm gonna put the bean sprouts on it after. Oh. And then we have round dice. Thinly sliced round die we're gonna put in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. I like to cut it up, like tear it up, because it's easier to eat when you do that. So I just tear the pieces up. And I'm putting it right on, because this will cook. The broth cooks it. You pour the broth on it, and it cooks it right then and there. So I'm going to put it on my cilantro and stuff on. I buy this already cut up in the Asian market in town. So our water's boiling, and it only takes about 5 or so minutes for these noodles to get soft and ready. So we got the water boiling. Let's cut the noodles. Open up these noodles. And it's about, for one person, I do like a little handful. So that's like the size amount I would do for one person. I like a lot of noodles, so I'll probably do a little bit more for me, but that's about the size you want. Alright, so we're gonna cut up the lime. Now these are alternatives. You don't have to put all this stuff in here, but this is what gives it a good taste. So let's cut up the lime right here into wedges. I like to just go ahead and squeeze it in now while I'm cooking everything. I like the flavor of the lime, so I'm going to put it in my bowl. I'll leave it aside for Shandon, because he likes to do his. So I just get all the lime juice I can. I just like to wring it real good. All that lime juice. Do a couple big pieces in here. I love the taste of it. That's a juicy lime. Nice juicy lime. Alright, so got the lime in there. Now, there's 2 other ingredients that you can add. And Hoisin Sauce is one of them. And Sriracha. Now, some people put it in their pho, and some people don't, and then some people put it in on the side to dip their meats in their noodles. They would dip it instead, but I like to put it in my broth. So I'm gonna do a nice good squirt here. Just get it ready. About that much I like. It's my favorite. I'll put a little more because it's good stuff. I'm starving. Cooking all this worked up an appetite. And then some either chili peppers flakes or sriracha. I'll do a good squirt of sriracha right on that top right there. And then there you go, and that's it. Alright, so my noodles are done, and we're gonna put it in our bowls now. So I'll do one on this side. I'll just do 2 bowls for you. I'll do mine later. So got 2 bowls here. There's that. And this one. Okay, so I have a spoon and chopsticks that I like to eat it with. I'll go ahead and put this on top now. And the meat on top. Okay, let's go ahead and put that right there on top. So we got 2 of them. I'll just go ahead and put this over here. And then we'll add some bean sprouts to each one on the top. I love the bean sprouts. All this stuff's optional. If you don't like these vegetables, I'm telling you, even if you don't like the vegetables, you'll like them in this. So, I like a lot of bean sprouts in mine. A little bit more. And then when I run out of bean sprouts, I'll just use Daikon Radish. Okay, so there's that, and that's all ready to rock and roll. So the broth is done, and now we're going to ladle it in here. We'll go ahead and put a meatball in each one. Those are big meatballs. I'm going to cut mine in half, I think. Delicious broth. Just pour it straight in there. There we go. All done with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pho. It's delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stir this one up. It's Shandon's, and I already have all the ingredients in it. Let's get all the sauces mixed in there, the lemon juice and the hoisin and the sriracha. All the goodness. All that goodness. And the beef pieces we put in here is already cooked to the right medium rare. It's really, 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 really delicious. This is what it looks like when it's all mixed up, and it's just so good for you. And this is what it looks like before it's mixed up. Nice little presentation there. And I'm gonna take a bite of Shandon's. I'm still have stuff to do, so I'm gonna eat later. But put a little bit of noodle in there. Mmm. A little bit of the beef. It's so good. My broth tastes the same every time I make it. I have my recipe down pat. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I'm going to get back to you when my broth is done, and then we're going to can it up. Alrighty, bye-bye.